Is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic Thursday night. I'm here, and I am excited about this NFC Championship matchup. We've been trying to get through this week. Stay sane, so I appreciate each and every one of you taking the time throughout this week. But tonight, we are live. And we're going to break it all down. We're going to talk about the top 10 matchups as usual, but I had to add a couple. So it's top 12 tonight. And of course, I'm going to show you before we get into that, the depth charts and the regular and postseason stats to give you an idea of how these teams are doing, their areas of strengths and their weaknesses, where both teams should attack, all that great stuff. So we're going to jump into this bad boy. Appreciate each and every one of you taking the time, whether you're watching this live, watching this later. Appreciate you hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel. But any questions, any comments that you have are more than welcome down below. But I'm going to jump right into this bad boy. Let's get pumped up here, baby. But let's take a look at how both of these teams have done this season. And I will show you their regular season stats and how that had them ranked. And then I will jump into, of course, the postseason stats. And the Eagles only have one game there. But, of course, the 49ers had to play too. So we will break those down. Any thoughts, anything that you guys want to throw out there, please feel free to do so. But I appreciate each and every one of you. Brocky, get the man. Pretty embarrassing. I'll be real with you. So let's jump into this, ladies and gentlemen. You will see here up first. Let's look at how the Eagles have been able to do. So this offense means business. MVP candidate Jalen Hurts leading the way. You know he was missing for a couple games, but still ended third in points, third in total yards, fifth in rushing yards per game, ninth in passing. And you talk about one area of weakness the Eagles had, giving up some sacks. Look, there are some things we said that Mailata definitely had his struggles. Lane Johnson did phenomenal again, not giving up a sack. Love to have him back. So that's something we'll want to keep our eye on. Not turning the ball over, though, on offense. That is beautiful. Then on the defensive side of the ball, you see a top three defense here. 8th in points, 2nd in total yards, 16th against the run. This team at the end of the year really turned things around when it came to stopping that run. So we got to hope to continue to do that. We'll definitely be breaking that down. But you talk about against the pass. Number 1 in yards per game, yards per attempt, yards per completion, first in sacks. When it comes to, teams trying to throw the ball on the Eagles, they do not do a great job. This is the best team against the pass. So we'll see how old Brock Purdy does, but we'll be breaking all of that down. And you see tied for 5th in turnovers to end the year. But for most of the year, they were number 1. So CJ Gardner-Johnson being out, Avonte Maddox being out, all of those things come into play. So we'll see how the Niners do in this game. But you see in the last game, the only postseason game the Eagles had, 38 points they put up, only gave up 7 there. 400 total yards, 268 rushing. That is 2nd in Eagles postseason history. So didn't really have to throw the ball. Only gave up 1 sack, no turnovers. So that's beautiful to see. On the defensive side of the ball, you see really dominated them. Only 118 rushing, 109 passing, 5 sacks we got, and an interception on a team that was number 1 in not turning that ball over. So great job by the Eagles. And now we'll take a look at how the 49ers have done because, look, this is the NFC Championship. Obviously, both of these teams are going to be pretty damn good. And when I tell you they're good, woo, doggy. But these teams are stacked, man. This show is packed with not only are these guys juggernauts, but I mean, the rosters are stacked. I mean, this is going to be quite the matchup. And I cannot wait to see it. I'll be real with you. So let's jump in and look at these 49ers here. And you see, on offense, look, not the greatest total yards there, middle of the pack, but in points, they were putting up points when it mattered. Kyle Shanahan is a very bright coach. Went from Lance to Garoppolo to now Brock Purdy. So he's really done a great job there. And you look at, trading for Christian McCaffrey, obviously a great job by John Lynch picking up someone like him for them and trying to make this run. So you see 8th in rushing yards per game there. You see passing the ball middle of the pack. Not really, giving up sacks there. So great in that department, not turning the ball over. Then this defense, man, 1st in points and total yards, 2nd against the run, 20th against the pass, though. And we've talked about that this week. This is where we want to attack them, obviously. But look, they've had issues, but they've definitely got some playmakers back there who we will talk about. Tied for 10th in sacks and then tied for second in turnover. So this defense, it means business, and we all know that. Now, in that first game, looked like the Seahawks were putting up a fight in that first half, but then the Niners were able to close it out with a win. But they put up 500 yards. That Seattle defense is pretty terrible. 181 rushing, 324 passing. Only gave up 1 sack there. We're able to get 3 sacks on defense and only gave up 332 yards of offense there. So, look, they did a great job, pulled off the win, moved on to the next round. And then against the Cowboys, it was a defensive matchup. And look, there were a lot of chances that the 49ers gave to the Cowboys to win that game, and it just looked like the Cowboys did not want to win it. Well, the defense did, but it did not look like Dak Prescott wanted to. So if the 49ers hope to score just 19 points, that's not going to get the job done. So, look, we've talked about it. The Eagles have a better defense than the Cowboys. So 312 yards of offense. They put up 113 rushing, 199 passing, gave up 2 sacks, and turned the ball over once there. On the defensive side of the ball, gave up 282, only 76 rushing, though, so they shut them down. Pollard was out of that game, though, so Eagles need to run that rock regardless. They only got 1 sack on Dak, and then 2 turnovers, with that being 2 interceptions, of course. So you see how both of these teams have done in the season and the postseason. Got a little primer there. Now let's take a look at the depth charts real quick, just so you can see what the teams look like and see how much fun I had picking these top matchups. So it was like, all right, dude, I'm going to extend this thing. And I even threw in an honorable mention. So really, you're getting lucky number 13 in there. But let's take a look at these depth charts just to give you a feel. You guys have any opinions on your top matchups? Let's jump right into this. But this offense, you're looking at obviously one of the best offenses, but they are fully healthy. Obviously, Lane Johnson isn't, but let's go. Who cares? That line, run the damn ball. You've got Dallas Goedert and Hurts back together. That opens things up for AJ, Devontae. AJ killed him last year. So on the Titans. So I really think that for me, this offense is really going to get things rolling. I know they have a great defense, but our offense is better than their defense, in my opinion. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I think our defense is better than their offense. So you see that pass rush. You see Sweat, Reddick there. You see Graham, Johnson, Quinn, all that depth. And then interior-wise, you got Hargrave, Cox, Joseph Sue, Jordan Davis, and Milton Williams. Love to see it. And then the linebackers, Edwards and White, are definitely going to need to step it up. All of these guys will. And then the secondary, Avonte Maddox hopes to be back. We will see on the game status report tomorrow if he is out, questionable, whatever the hell it may be. But, man, that would be great to have him. But you got Slay, you got Bradbury. If Maddox is out, you could move Scott there. You could use CJ there with Reed at safety, which we did last week. The week before that, it was Scott at nickel. So it really depends on how they want to match up with people. So for me, this we'll get more into it with the matchups, how I feel we should play it. But I'd love to have Avonte. Let's just say that. Now at special teams, Sipos, he was not activated, so we're still rolling with Kern and punter there. Everything else still ready to go. Boston Scott, Britton Covey. Let's see some big plays from the return unit for once. That would be great. Now let's take a look at the 49ers depth chart so you can see what I mean. Both these rosters are stacked. So you see these guys, Purdy, and again, anybody that was in green, if you guys haven't seen the show that was on that Eagles roster, they are new to the roster this year. Same goes for this one. If they're in red, that means they are new to the roster this season. So you've got Purdy, McCaffrey there, and then Burford, the rookie, at right guard. So you've got all of these weapons. Use check at fullback, Samuel, Ayuk, Kittle. Holy hell, damn good offensive line. So a stacked offense and then a stacked defense. And man, holy crap, Nick Bosa, Kinlaw, Armstead, Greenlaw, Warner. Oh my, Lenoir, Ward, Gibson, and Hufanga. So that's a pretty damn good defense, not going to lie to you. And you got to watch out for Ray McLeod there too. And Robbie Gould, one of the best kickers still at the ripe age of 94. So these are 2 very, very stacked rosters. And of course they should be. They are the championship team. So an exciting matchup we are about to watch, ladies and gentlemen. And I am very excited to get into this top 12 matchups here with you. So let's get it started. 54-0. E-Money's going with let's go. All about it. They all disrespect them, and then they all get to find out, which is always pretty hilarious. So, they suck. My man, what's going on? I'm very excited. Hope you're doing well. Let's go. I know. We're all trying to stay as sane as we possibly can. I'm literally been feeling a little choked up. I'm like, don't you do it to me. Don't you do it, because I'm supposed to be going to that damn game, and I'm going to bring you as much live footage as I can. And I will not be getting sick. Even if I do, I don't care. I'll be there. But let's go. So let's stay sane, get through this tonight. Let's go through these top matchups. Tomorrow we'll have the game status report. I'll have Fan Friday with some great fan questions from, of course, Shrew and Liz down below. Hope you're having yourself a great night. Appreciate you taking the time. Appreciate those questions. Looking forward to answering those and seeing what everyone else has to say. But it's going to be packed these next few days. And then Saturday, I'll have that practice squad elevation. Well, yeah, I'll still be home at that point. So I'll give you the practice squad elevations, updated depth charts, everything you need to know about the game status reports, if there's any updates there. So keeping you in the loop the next couple of days here. We'll make it through. I promise we will do our best, but I appreciate all of you. But let's get this thing started here with the top 12 matchups. And look, like I said, this was impossible to really sit here and be like, oh, well, you really got to focus here. It's like, yeah, but is this more important here because you need to do this more, or you're better here than them? Or so what I did was I went through and I wanted to break down what I thought to be more important, in the sense that their offense is really good, but their defense is more scarier than their offense. So I went with, we're going to look at the Eagles defense first and the 49ers offense. So you'll see those matchups first, and then we'll go in and you'll see that the first 6 will be the Niners offense. So don't think like, oh, why is this number 9? This should be number 1. But I do have it in the sense of how I feel of its importance on offense and defense. So I'll just say that. But there is an honorable mention, and I did kind of mention him a second ago, but you can't sleep on the special teams game. And we have given up, 2 big returns before of 40-plus yards, and there was one of those that was like 66 yards. So don't want to see anything from the special teams unit. We've been doing real good there. Zach McPherson did great all year. You added Christian Ellis to that unit. They really started stepping things up. So I think, you continue to do that, and you can shut him down, but definitely something to keep our eye on. And I never want to leave the special teams unit out of things. So want to throw that out of the way. Now let's get things rolling with number 12. Now, as I said, we're looking at their offense, our defense first. And we're going to start in the trenches, baby, which doesn't mean it's the least important. But like I said, these are the things I wanted to talk about. This is just the flow of it. But this Eagles interior D-line, oh my God, are they stacked? And we all know it. So I can't just put all their names, because it's Hargrave, it's Cox, it's Davis, it's Joseph, it's Sue, it's Williams. So yeah, it's a pretty beautiful thing. And Hargrave had 11 sacks, Cox had like 6 or 7, and man, they were phenomenal. And Davis continues to get better. Unfortunately, got hurt at one point, but he's back. Love to see it. And then, going up against this 49ers interior line, looking at that, Aaron Banks, Brendel, and then Burford there. Brendel is a top 10 center in this game. He's pretty damn good. But Burford, Burks, they're more middle of the pack kind of guards. Nothing too special about them. I think our defensive line could really feast on the middle there. So I'm hopeful that this Eagles D-line can really go after him in the middle. And, obviously they're a good offensive line, but I think with Hargrave leading the way and the rest of that depth and having Davis in there, we talk about them running a lot of 21 personnel. That is, when you have 2 running backs, that'll be Juszczyk and McCaffrey, as we talked about the other day, with 1 tight end, 2 wide receivers. So I think that you're going to have Davis, more than you are used to seeing. So that would be great to see. Please. And thank you, Philadelphia Eagles. Now, on to number 11, let's just keep it on the line, baby. Oh, and this is going to be a slobber knocker here. I can't wait to see this one, because you got Trent Williams and Mike McGlinchey. Now, Trent Williams is like top 5, probably the best tackle in the game. McGlinchey, yeah, he's not so much, but hey, Philly kid, love the dude, great for him. But Reddick, Sweat, BG, go feast on these mother. I need to see it, please, and thank you. We have literally talked about this over and over again, how dominant this Eagles defensive line has been. And, the edge rushers, the interior, everybody. First team in NFL history with 4 players with 10-plus sacks in a season. Holy. Third in NFL history with 70 sacks. Like, that's all pretty effing good, right? So you want to get some pressure on them. We want to keep doing our damn thing. And I think the Eagles, we all know, leading the league, getting almost, well, over 4 sacks a game. That's whew. So if we could get a few on Purdy, and he's been all right against the sack, middle of the pack kind of guy. He's middle of the pack, lower pack, getting the ball out. He tries the quick release. That's a lot of Shanahan's play calling, but I'm not saying he's the best at it. So let's pressure that kid. He's throwing a lot of inside routes. He's not throwing outside the numbers. So get that pressure to him quick. We talked about the interior a second ago, but I think these outside guys, Sweat leading the way, 16 sacks, 5 tackles, or forced fumbles. I mean, that guy had quite an effing season. So for me, you just keep doing your damn thing. And look, they were pretty good against, sacks. I said that, what were they, 6th in the league? So I think that really it's going to be a juggernaut battle no matter what matchup we look at here. So that's why I said it's really, don't try to take the numbers, to heart too much here. But number 10 now here, let's look at Brock Purdy. This guy, a great story, phenomenal what he has been able to do coming in. Oh yeah, Brock Purdy. He, obviously as a rookie in his 9 games, I think 8, that he started, he has had 1,374 yards. He had 13 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. He's been doing pretty damn good. And he has this team winning. They're in the NFC Championship. So whether you want to call him a system quarterback, whatever, with Kyle Shanahan leading the way, he is a great coach. So regardless, it's a great story. But I don't care. This is a great defense. And we talk about the number 1 defense against the pass. And we talk about number 1 in sacks, getting pressure on him, not allowing him to throw outside. And if he does, he's got Slay, he's got Bradbury out there. So best of luck to you. You want to go deep with Gardner-Johnson, Epps, you can definitely try your luck there. But look, first in yards per games, yards per completion, yards per attempt. The Eagles defense, I don't need to say it anymore. I don't think we're in the NFC Championship game. I think people, that thought this defense sucked, they should probably, spend this all season learning a little bit how a defense works and realize, yeah, this defense is pretty effing good. So I think we get this kid rattled. He's in the link. Talk about rookie quarterbacks being 0-4 in championship games. I think for me, this kid's going to have himself a tough time. And look, that all depends on getting that pressure, getting after him. And look, Kittle can be there. They have use check. They're definitely going to have some extra blocking, but that takes away their weapon. So we'll see how they try to attack the Eagles. But I myself am pretty effing excited. So we got through that honorable mention. We got through a few of them, but love to hear your thoughts. I'm going to keep it going. We'll get into the rest, the top 9 we've got here. But look, I see some comments, so I want to jump over here real quick. After our D-line gets after, the link's going to be, I'm going to be losing my mind. Just to let you guys know, I will be there losing my effing mind. Do not worry. And I'm actually excited because this time I know it's not just going to be me cheering this team on, losing my effing mind. Don't have to sit there arguing with people about how great of a team this is. I'm pretty sure everybody's on board now. So let's go. The energy is going to be there. And if somebody's trying not to bring the energy, I'm going to get let's go. Let's go. That's what that home crowd advantage is all about, baby. And I'm going to show them what it's all about. Nina, I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you taking the time today. Going through these top matchups. Love to hear your thoughts. Going to try to get through these next few dates. So we shall see here. 49ers just disrespected. Yeah, man. We were talking about that a second ago. No doubt. So we will jump into the top 9 here. And we're talking about, some pretty effing talented playmakers. And that's why the reason I just wanted to get the line and the quarterback, obviously very, very important, probably the most important to the 49ers. But I want to break down these weapons and talk about these matchups. Oh, my Lord. So number 9, you've got Deebo effing Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. And yeah, they're pretty effing good. So you're talking about Deebo Samuel. I think for me, is one of those guys. He was injured for a little while, but he is so explosive. You can use him, obviously, running the ball, catching the ball. He only had like 600 some receiving this year, but dude, he is a playmaker. Do not let the stats fool you. He can kill you in a plethora of ways. We have to do everything we can to stop him. Brandon Ayuk had over 1,000 yards, probably because of the fact that Samuel was out, but still, he's pretty effing good too. But ladies and gentlemen, what did we just talk about? This number 1 pass defense and Slay, Bradbury, Maddox. Those dudes mean business. And Avonte Maddox, I'm just kind of throwing some good juju out here and hopeful that he's playing. And if he's not, well, then we'll figure it out from there. But I'm putting him in there, whether you like it or not. So let's go, baby. But They move Samuel all over the place, as we talked about. Ayuk will definitely burn you deep, but we are a bend, don't break defense, and we will not. As I said, that's number one in pass yards per game, yards per completion, yards per attempt. So best of luck to you, Slay and Bradbury out there making sure to handle their business. Hope to see Maddox out there this weekend. Now, at number 8, another weapon, George Kittle. I mean, we are going to have to do anything we can to stop him. And the reason I wanted to do it like this, I put Kaiser White with Gardner-Johnson because you're going to need to use your linebackers and safeties. And I really think it's going to depend on a lot of things. And we talk about how insane this multiple scheme defense is. Jonathan Gannon is going to have a multitude of ways to shut, George Kittle, the rest of these guys down. But your linebackers and safeties in different levels are going to have a lot of responsibility of shutting these guys down. A lot of quick throws from Brock Purdy, trying to get these guys the ball in space to make plays. So we got to be quick to the ball, shutting these guys down. The linebackers are going to have a lot of responsibility here. So, it's going to be an exciting one. I will be real with you there. But, dude, Kittle's a beast. Only had like 700 some yards, but he had 11 touchdowns this year. He is a beast. So going to look forward to hopefully CJ getting some interceptions. He led the league with 6. He was tied with 3 other guys, but he missed 5 games. So pretty effing impressive there. Now let's move to number 7. And this dude, he is quite the weapon. So you're talking about Christian McCaffrey. What a good trade for both teams. But man, a great move for them. Trying to make a Super Bowl push. They go out and get a dude that is a stud. And in the 11 games he's played for him, he had 746 rushing yards, 464 receiving yards, 6 rushing touchdowns, and 4 receiving touchdowns. So, man, pretty damn good. Over 1,000 yards total, 10 touchdowns total. We know who Christian McCaffrey is when healthy. So, TJ Edwards, White, everybody on the damn team needs to wrap it up. It's not just running the ball, it's catching the ball that this dude will come at you. But TJ Edwards has been phenomenal, led the team, 159 tackles. Oh, hell yeah, he had 10 tackles for a loss. Going to need him out there, sticking him, man, putting him on his ass, making them one-dimensional, put the ball into Brock Purdy's hands. And I think this defense can definitely do that. And look, obviously, we talked about it just a second ago. All of those weapons. You're talking about Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. Yeah, that's a lot of weapons. And then Juszczyk as well. So, man, they are going to do everything in their power to, get the ball off quick because, we have the number 1 pass rush. So just expect that and execute the plays. Tackle for the love of God, please. And thank you. So we all know what the Eagles need to do to get the business done here. Let's just hope they do it. So going to see, like I said, I think they ran it 43% of the time. The most, they run 21 personnel. So you're going to see that a lot. And look, I think that we have a defense. We've talked about multiple schemes that can match up against anyone. And I think, we're going to continue to do our thing, running that quarter flat, the quarter half a lot of the times, half quarter if you want, whatever side you're running it to. And I think you're going to see a lot of penny formation at certain times against teams in the playoffs. This is not going to be one of those teams. I think your 4-man front works here, your 4-2 nickel. And even you don't need to use nickel too much just due to the fact that Maddox is out. But just the way the scheme's set up, you can have CJ Gardner-Johnson in there as your nickel if you want to bring him closer, just to maybe cover one of these tight ends, help out with one of these running backs, as we had talked about. So a lot of different things that Jonathan Gannon can do to try to shut down this 49ers offense, and I'm very excited to see what he can do. Now let's jump into looking at the Eagles offense and the 49ers defense as the matchups here. So again, don't take these numbers to heart here too much, but there's just so many matchups here, and it was so fun to try to break this down. It was like, holy hell, man. But my man Drew up in here. Let's go. Hope you are doing well, dude. Ready to rock and roll. Going through these matchups, I hope. I just went through the top 6 with the honorable mention. Now we're going through. I went through, and it was Eagles defense versus the 49ers offense. Now we're going to be doing the Eagles offense versus the Niners defense. So appreciate you tuning in, Drew. Hope you're having yourself a great night. Hope you're staying sane. God help us all. I need Eagles football in my life. I can't believe we're this effing close. Do you know how much, what you guys do, how much work I put in this season to try to get, just that positive vibe out there to combat the media with all their negativity, and they're still trying. And I've never seen a weirder fan base of the 49ers. It's just so funny. Everybody's sleeping on this Eagles team, and Well, I kind of love it. So very excited. Hope you're all excited. I think this game, we're going to stomp them and we're going to head to the Super Bowl, man. I love it. Love it. Love to see the love being shared. Let's go. They don't learn. Nobody learns. They're dumb. They always love messing with us. Love to see that love being shared in there. Let's go, Drew. Now, let's jump into that Eagles offense. Take a look at, of course, Drew, glad you're here. Let's hear it in the chat. Run the damn ball. I cannot stress it enough. Now, they have one of the best, if not the best linebackers in the game in Fred Warner. And this dude, yeah, he's pretty effing good, and he can do it all. They'll use him to try to help stop the pass, try to stop Goddard, try to do it all. But we need to continue to try to run the effing ball. You guys know I stress that, especially against teams that, oh, well, you can't run against them. They're good here. Don't care. Run the effing ball regardless. So pound it right down their effing throats, whether they think they're good or not. And they are. They are really good. They're second in total yards per game. So, yeah, they're good. But regardless of that, ladies and gentlemen, Miles Sanders, you need to establish that run. And the way the Eagles run the ball in that shotgun RPO style, you have to understand, that keeps the defense on its toes, disguising what you're doing every play because you have Jalen Hurts there. And they have to think, holy shit, okay, is he handing the ball off? Is he running the ball? Is he quick slant? Is it a deep? Dude, there's so many things that can go into an RPO, and it's beautiful. And that's why it works so well for us. And people complain, it's a high school over. Yeah, but you can't stop it. That's what's so beautiful about it. So, but you have to have the element of running the ball. They have to be afraid of running the ball. If they know they just key in on Jalen Hurts, you're going to have yourself a tough time. So establish that run, please. And thank you. Now on to number 5, Dallas Goedert back, baby. Let's go. And we talked about it. Look, he and Hurts had quite a connection at the beginning of the year. And, last week we didn't really need to throw the ball too much, but these guys together, oh my Lord, Goddard and Hurts are quite the duo. And I think they're going to get a lot of work done this week, but they're going to have their handfuls. Dre Greenlaw is probably the best coverage linebacker. He can do it all, man. He's going to be helping in the run, all that stuff. Look, they've got a great defense. Let's not kid ourselves here. But, man, oh, man, is this going to be fun to watch how they try to stop Dallas Goedert there. And you've got Talanoa Hufanga there, and he is a stud as well. This kid, he was third on the team in tackles, and I think he had like 4 interceptions, I want to say, something like that I read earlier. I think that we're in for a tough task here, ladies and gentlemen, Eagles fans, but you still want to get the ball to Dallas Goedert, spread the ball around, get Greenlaw and Hufanga looking after that, and then you can maybe pound that rock down their throats with Miles Sanders. Now up next in the weapon category, you keep them busy, and look, Hufanga and Greenlaw, they'll need to help out, and Warner as well with these receivers. We love to run some slants, quick throws, all kinds of stuff. So, again, these matchups is just for the basis of talking about it. You all get it, but some people like, wait a minute. So, I know people line up against other people. So, now you're looking at Ward, Charvarius, then Lenore, and then Jimmy Ward, who is now playing nickel for the Niners with the injuries they had there. Emmanuel Mosley out now since week 5. So, Jimmy Ward been filling in there, and then they had Gibson at safety now. So, look, Lenore, Ward, and Ward, they've done pretty well this year. We've talked about filling in, but they're still not a great defense when it comes to the passing game. We talked about 20th in passing yards per game. This is their weakness. So, they are not going to be able to handle A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, the first Eagles in the Eagles history. Over 1,000 yards, 2,000-yard receivers. And you had 1,496 yards for Brown, 1,196 yards for Devontae, 11 touchdowns for AJ, 7 for Devontae. Let's effing go. Can't stress enough how much you need to feast there. And I think Jalen will be able to do that. And look, they're going to be coming after him, trying to get pressure. So you're going to need, maybe some quick throws at times, but I think you can definitely see some bombs here too, because as much as you want to think that this team gets after it, they were like 10th in the, in sacks. They stopped the run. That's great. They struggle against the pass, though. They actually have given up, I believe it was 8 plays of 50-plus yards this season. So I think Peter Schrager was the one that pointed that out. That's pretty insane. So big plays are what get them. And I think you could see some big plays from Devontae, AJ, hell, even Quez could get in there, maybe catch the damn ball, get vengeance for last year, which we all know didn't get any points after that. Don't even want to talk about it. But you also talk about vengeance. They are feeling rough, even with Derrick Henry out last year. When AJ was still with the Titans, he put a hurting on them and had like 145 receiving yards, even though they were keying in on him. Now, their defense wasn't the same. Their secondary was banged up then, too. So it was like Ambry Thomas and somebody back there. So, hey, but he has proven he can do some work. So I think that's going to be a great effing matchup. Looking forward to seeing how AJ and Devontae do in this game. And I think they could have themselves some big games. Now, we're about to jump into this top three. Would love to hear your thoughts, though. So bring it to me, ladies and gentlemen. I love to see it. Love to see the love being shared. Run that damn ball, please. And effing thank you, Niners, who are commenting on my post. Yo, what the hell, Liz? And I try to like be cordial and talk to people. And you saw me. I will always talk football. I love talking football, especially I think it's cool when the other fans of other teams are like, oh, crap, this is a guy that actually knows football and isn't just trolling and wants to just yell dumb shit. Well, then they come in here just yelling dumb shit. Like, what was he saying? He was like, well, yeah, you were throwing snowballs at Santa. I was like, I wasn't even live there. And I was like, and I'm pretty sure a guy got like a coma and was like paralyzed or something at a Niners game this year. Like, maybe just chill out on that kind of stuff, like whatever weirdo stuff. And I've never seen a fan base so afraid. So I appreciate you bearing with me. I try to just be like, all right, dude, if you can talk about football, that's what I'm here for. It's like, hey, not a little child here. So that you can tell they're scared. And I love it. It's like, actually, you guys are making me feel a little bit more comfortable with the way that they're going out of their way to comment. So let's go. Appreciate you, though, Liz. It's pretty funny. It's just these. A lot of people don't understand football. Like, oh, you guys played nobody. And I was like, well, actually, the Eagles were 7-1 against teams with winning records this season, which is the best since 2010 when the New England Patriots did it. And then they're just like, oh, son of a bitch. Like, oh, no, did I just smack you in the face with the facts? Like, I'm sorry. That's how I roll. So if you're a troll that just wants to, throw out dumb shit, you're going to have a really tough time. And I do it to the Eagles media, too. That's why people are like, oh, you Eagles. And I'm like, bro, don't put me in any category. I'm in a league of my own. We here, the Liz, the Drew, everyone else here, we're the diehards. That's a different breed they don't know anything about. No one likes us. We don't care. It's because they don't understand it. And it's truly funny. But, dude, we're gonna ride together. And we knew this team before this season started would ride to the Super Bowl. So let them be afraid. I think they should be. My man Vector in here. Let's go. Yo, just missed some of it. If you rewatch it, would love to hear your thoughts. We went through, looked at the stats from the regular season, the postseason, looked at the depth charts quick so you could make your own matchups. But we went through 9 matchups, actually 10 because I had an honorable mention in there. But we're going to go through the top 3 here, man. Appreciate you tuning in. But as I said, it was offense, then defense for the Eagles. The matchups are just randomly numbered, man. Just wanted it a way to, flow into each other and talk about it because, man, these rosters are stacked and this is going to be a great game. I think the Eagles are going to win by double digits, though. I still feel that way. Someone should have a sign in the game saying run. Yo, I don't bring signs to the games just because I don't want to be covering it up for people, but they should. And I will be yelling it. Trust me, I will. You should be able to hear it on TV. If you listen, I swear to God, you will hear it. I will yell louder than anyone could ever imagine. I will be screaming all effing game. Let's go. Let's effing go. And it sure is. And always, I will always have all of your backs. And I tell you that throughout this offseason, when people were trying to talk crap about the cap or how he couldn't do or this, that, the other thing. By the way, congrats. The PWFA named Howie Roseman Executive of the Year. Very well so. And look, you guys tagging me in that stuff, asking me to explain the cap to people, showing them how the defense works, why Hurts would develop. I love that. I will always have your backs. Always. When I come with the facts, those people never stand a chance, and it's always fun. It truly is. It's a game of cat and mouse, but they don't get away too many times. So I will always have your back because you guys always have my back. You're always here supporting me, and I cannot thank you guys enough. So I'll never let you guys ever slander, and if it ever goes too far, I will block their asses. I am not a child. I don't need that stuff. I don't need them to help me build my channel. I know a lot of people build their stuff off trolling. I can't do it. Don't care. I just don't. What do I think of them running empty sets against this defense? Seen Kurt Warner's video on our team attacking Niners with it. What What do you think of them running empty sets against this defense? Oh, okay. So that's something I've talked about. When you talk about still, I had mentioned it briefly there, when you're running this nickel defense still, when I said, they predominantly run 21, that's the personnel. That doesn't mean they have to line up in any which way. So what they do with that is Christian McCaffrey, Kyle Juszczyk, they can line up as receivers. Juszczyk can go in as a tight end, Kittle out as a receiver. There's Samuel back as a running back. There is so much going on, and you want that, dude. You want these guys just like our defense disguises stuff. It shows how smart they are. Sirianni does that on offense, but they do a lot of that. And yeah, I think you will see that. So that's why I had mentioned I would think you'd still see a lot of that nickel being played, a lot of 4-2 from the Eagles, because the versatility of this team allows you to be able to move guys around. Now, you also could see, Maddox not in there and just have yourself with, a 4-3 in the sense where, you have that penny, 5-2, and then 4 guys back. So it depends, man, how they want to play it. But I think you could see that. And I think we have the defense to stop that, as we have proven. But great question there, Drew. 49ers fan, Doug. That's laughable. I'll be there. That's all they need to know. So best of luck to you. It's too funny. Too funny. Yo. Yes, as he was yesterday. Back at practice again today. Yes, the injury video was out earlier. If any of you missed it, go check it out. 31-14. He's giving you his score prediction. Let's go. Run that damn ball. Yeah, how about it? I need to just tattoo it on my effing forehead. All about it. If you would, you got anything from this, hit that like button. Appreciate you, my man. Let's go. Appreciate you guys subscribing, liking it, sharing it, whatever you're doing. Cannot thank you. But let's get into this top 3 here. I got to get rolling, unfortunately. But we're going in the trenches here for the Eagles. Look, Dickerson, Kelsey, Sayamalu. This is one of the best interior offensive lines in the game. I love these dudes. The Iron Man, Kelsey is the anchor. But they've got a test in front of them in Javon Kidnaw and Eric Armstead. And I'm looking forward to seeing it, man. And we've talked about, we've had our issues when it comes to, giving up sacks. But I think if we run the ball down anyone's throat, leading the charge with these monsters. Sayamalu, we talk about all year how underrated he is. I saw this week people finally giving him some credit. That was pretty cool. But we know how good he is here. We know how good Dickerson is when we drafted him. And then Kelsey, when he's done, he will hand it off to Jurgen. So in some damn good hands here. But going to be a battle of the heavyweights here, and I'm really looking forward to that. We really need to shut those guys down. Run right at them, man, just like you did with the Giants. They've got Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams on the Giants, still ran it right at them, not afraid of them, don't give a damn. You remember we talked about that Saints game. You can't run against everyone. I don't care. Run the damn ball. Then you're talking about this offensive line. Lane Johnson looked phenomenal last week. I just don't understand it. A torn abductor. This guy's still out there looking phenomenal. But this week, he's got his hands full, and they've got Bosa there. They've got Ebiakam. And I think they're getting the dude, Amenihu, who obviously has some off-the-field things going on, but it sounds like he will play. He was limited to practice. But look, they've got a decent pass rush there, too. Top 10, tied at 10th, I believe it was. So we have struggled. Jordan Mailata, especially, not Lane Johnson. So Lane Johnson, on the other hand, he has not given up a single sack, pressure in like 2 years. So, not giving up a sack. And then last week, he didn't give up a single sack, a pressure. So, yeah, that's going to be awesome. Not sure that they will put Bosa, maybe because Johnson's banged up, they will. But I think they would try, if they're smart, to attack. And D'Amico Ryans is a very smart defensive coordinator. I think they will definitely try to attack Jordan Mailata over there on the left. So we shall see Jalen Hurts blindside, try to protect him, and we're going to need him. So number 1, ladies and gentlemen, I'd love to hear your thoughts on these matchups. How do you have them ranked? Who is your favorite matchup? Whatever's on your mind. My number 1, obviously, Jalen Hurts, MVP, coming against this 49ers defense. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm going to be doing, because I think we're really about to come out here and whoop some ass. Now, again, I've talked about it. I know how good they are. Number 1 in points, number 1 in total yards. But the one thing is, he's the MVP. I don't need to speak on it more than I've done all effing year, trying to get people on board with this young man. Think they finally see it, but he's effing phenomenal. And we talked about throughout this video, what he can do with his arms, his legs, what that's going to open up that RPO, this 49ers defense, they're going to have guys like Greenlaw, Warner, keeping their eye, whether it's spying, but they're going to need to keep containment on this, freak of nature that Jalen Hurts is. And I love how the media talks about, as if it's a bad thing, his versatility as a dual threat quarterback, how great it is that he can stand in the pocket, deliver. He can escape the pocket, make an explosive play. That used to be talked about as a really good thing. And I think if he were white, it would be talked about how phenomenal he is. But instead, we talk about, I don't talk about, on the media, they talk about Brock Purdy. So I think this is the perfect kind of game to go out here, and perfect kind of person like Nick Bosa, where you can just stomp on their face. So destroy all their narratives. And we talked about the 49ers being 20th against the pass. So for me, it's time for Jalen Hurts. They talk about, well, now he's going to face a real defense. Well, he's faced some pretty good defenses. I think he's going to go out here, smoke them, throw for over 250 yards, 2 touchdowns passing. And I think people are going to have to shut their mouths because we're going to be on the road to the Super Bowl. That's right. I will continue since this effing preseason, and really since last year, predicting that we're going to that effing Super Bowl. So let them keep hating. We'll keep educating, ladies and gentlemen. But each and every one of you, I appreciate you taking the time today. He really effing is. I love that, man. I really do. Hope I get to spend some time with his trainer before this game, because this is an important one. Try to give all the good juju we can out there, ladies and gentlemen. Give you all the footage I can and everything else. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Those of you who just tune in at the end, if you watch this again, please comment on the video. I want to hear from you. Give me your score predictions. Give me your thoughts on the matchups, whatever your favorite matchup is. Something I missed, whatever. Sleeper pick here. Let's go. Let's get excited. I'm very excited, but I hope you'll come back tomorrow, because that's the day where we all lose our effing minds, because it's Fan Friday. Now, I won't leave you hanging with the game status report around 4:30, 5 o'clock. I will have that. So you'll have your game status, whoever's questionable, out. You'll have the updated depth chart, all of that stuff. But then around 8 o'clock Friday night, I will be bringing all of the questions from Drew, Liz, all of the members. We will answer all of those questions. You, the fans, will help me answer those questions. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you're all looking forward to it, but I hope that you got something from this video tonight. Again, would love to hear your thoughts. Again, if you got something from this, do me a favor, hit that like button. Love to see you subscribe, join the family, talk some birds with us. Join us tomorrow for Fan Friday, because they've been getting more and more exciting each time. I'm really having a great time with that. Truly appreciate each and every one of you that signed up for those memberships. But that is all I have for you tonight. And until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds!